Okay, so I guess recording has started. I basically wanted to do this as a live video, as I've done with the previous 3 or 4 sessions, but my internet connection can't hold up that well because I'm on 4G, and I don't like the quality of the video because I can't stream the actual resolution of my screen, so I have to downgrade to 720p, which is not okay. But yeah, welcome to another work session on Remotium.io. It's basically me building this thing in public, this remote hybrid jobs board, jobs platform. And I was planning on doing the sign up process today. So in the previous video, I tweaked the jobs page and then the individual job page. I'm going to actually go here. Let me quit the calendar. I'm going to open Visual Studio Code. I changed the setup a little bit in the sense that I just created a workspace and added both projects here so that I don't have to switch between editors and drive people crazy. And then just got a split terminal here. And let's run the dev task, and then let's run the develop task on the Strapi. So if you don't know by now, or if it's the first time you landed on my channel and on this video, I am building this remote jobs platform using Strapi as a backend and Next.js for the front end. So yeah, I guess it's good to just start, not waste any more of your time and of my time too. So yes, this has started. This is the Strapi admin. We have it here with everything, and I believe, yes. So previously, last time, I tweaked a little bit the items over here, and that was a result of me working on the individual jobs page, which, as you can see over here, it's just a toggle, it's just an accordion. But if I click on this job, and assuming someone just takes this link and says, hey, check this out, they're going to go on the dedicated jobs page, the dedicated job page, the single job. And I arranged a little bit of the text over here. Now, what I should be doing is I should also be taking the Markdown that we have here and output it as Markdown before we move with the sign up flow. And let me first trigger monitoring over here because I want to see myself while I'm doing this. So I'm gonna put it on the other screen and just a little bit just to see the volumes of the microphone and whatnot. Okay, I won't be taking I won't be looking at it that much, but it's worth having it here. So what I want to do before we go any further is transform this, which is Markdown, into actual HTML. So we have to go to Remotium, go to, I think it's pages, remote jobs, and remote search jobs. This is going to be basically one and the same thing with the index and everything. I'll show you in later episodes and recordings a little bit of magic over here with these dynamic routes. But for now, we have remote jobs, slug TSX, and this is rendering single job. So we're going to single job, and we should be in job description, right? In job description, use this dangerously set inner HTML. It's useless. Like, I could have just set the description as the value of the paragraph and it would have been the same thing. So let's just find a good Markdown npm.js, and we're going to look for a Markdown renderer. So let's just go Markdown. I'm also going to do Next.js Markdown. So, okay. Let's see. Next.js Markdown. MDX with Next.js. Nice, and it's on the Next blog, so why not check this out? Whatever, data source, transformation, styling, blah, blah, blah. MDX remote, serialize. What are we looking for? Right. Let me figure this one out. And I'll probably try and play some music as well. But, so get static props, MDX source, serialize like this. And you return MDX source, and this is being pumped over here. You have MDX remote. What does this do? Or next MDS using an MDX provider. What does this do? So, MDX provider. Yeah, too much magic. I just need a renderer, for fuck's sake. I don't need anything else other than just transforming. So to use it, the most popular is Remark. Boom. Parses, compiles, and Remark HTML to transform Markdown to HTML. So let's open these two links. Superset, yes, no supersets. So Remark is a Markdown processor powered by plugins. Good. And what do we need here? So Remark HTML. So what do we need? Remark, and you use Remark HTML and process. Okay, let's see what the docs of Remark HTML say. So when should you use this? It's useful when you want to turn Markdown into HTML. It's a shortcut for this, that, and the other. So you install it and you import it. And then let's see. So yeah, I don't know what unified is. So this package exports no identifiers. Let's see. There's also Remark, Rehive, Sanitize. Okay. Guess we're gonna need that as well if we're going to turn it into HTML. It's still mentioning this unified thing. Is a unified plugin. Okay, so they're pointing to unify, but Remark also does the trick here. So, yeah. Why don't I like this? I think I don't like it because it's asynchronous. Is that what I don't like about it? I mean, can it just do sync stuff? Let's see. So let's also go and see what unified is. Just out of curiosity, we're gonna go down this rabbit hole. An interface for processing using syntax tree. It's what powers Remark. Okay. Retext and rehype. Nice. So, wow, so it's behind Gatsby. Wow, that's nice. This is nice. So you install it and then you want Remark HTML, but then I don't like the asynchronous nature of this. Does it say promise anywhere? Returns promise if done is not given. Okay, let's just try it. So I'm gonna shut down this one and npm I unified and remark rehype sanitize. So what does it sanitize? To make sure HTML is safe by a schema. Okay, so we're gonna also want this one, and I think it's gonna be applied after the transformation. So it's gonna be applied after remark HTML. So yeah. Where is it? Where is it? npm install remark HTML. I'm just going to copy it because I'm lazy. And then I need, I don't know what's remark parse. It looks like it needs it. So, okay, so unified, and then use these two. And then sanitize. Okay, I'm gonna also install that one. Actually, no, I'm gonna be an ignorant and just go, let's just try without it. So what I need here is to, just a moment, I feel like I'm being stupid right now. Let's just look for something. So React Markdown. Because I think I'm just making a mistake over here. I don't remember precisely how I did it in the past, because I had in Remote I had a Markdown editor, but I think when it saved the actual HTML output. So what does React Markdown do? Right. This also looks interesting. So, a million to, well, yeah, installs are not like the best, but it's under Remark.js. So could it be that it's maintained by the same? So I don't want to be stupid and just do shit by hand when I don't have to. Okay, so it's basically under Unified JS right now. So remark.js remark. Oh, they view the unified project. I was going on the same link. So it's still remark.js. So it's maintained, it's by the same team. Okay, we'll go with the simpler method then. Forget what I just did. We're just gonna go uninstall. I don't even remember saving them. Did I? No, I did not save them. Okay, so we remove these and npm i-s, so that's install --save React Markdown. Cool. And we need, so it's safe by default because it doesn't use this. Yeah, with this safe by default thing and this security thing, there's always something going on that can mess your shit up. So yeah, let's just import. And why do I have this colored theme and I don't have this beautiful theme here? So from React Markdown, we're gonna import the module, and since we have that component, so I think it can also render this. I'm just curious if it can just do this. So I'm gonna do React Markdown, React Markdown, and I'm gonna just pass it description and remove this. But I still need some CSS. So let's see, does it take, oh, so it can take class name as props. So let's just do it right here. I believe it was MT6. mt6. We'll set a margin top of 6 and npm run dev, of course, because we need to run it to see it. And yes, let us just, yes, it's happening. Okay, so if I'm gonna go and edit, I think this was the first job, right? Yeah, it is the first job. So we'll be editing the first job just to check. So we're gonna go on jobs, get on this one, and switch to preview. This is nice. And switch to Markdown. Okay. Add a title. This needs a title. H1. This is an amazing title. And we'll save it, and it's been saved. Refresh. Yes, of course it's an amazing title. The only problem is that right now, and this is a nice hack, because Tailwind has an implicit CSS reset, a style sheet reset, it's butchering these things in some way. So what we need to do is install, I think there's a plugin called Tailwind Pros or something like that. We're just going to look for Tailwind Pros. I don't remember precisely. I have it in the typography. Okay. So we're going to go here and go npm-i-d. So npm install. I should just do this just for the people watching. It's npm install --save dev Tailwind. Why am I typing? Because I always get it wrong. I'll just copy it here and just add the @ So let's install this. And then we need to use it, I believe, in plugins. We need to require it. So Tailwind config plugins. Then Tailwind has a couple of interesting plugins. There's one related to forms, I think. That's also useful. Oh, what did I do? Unable to resolve dependency tree. Found 229. Could not resolve. Peer. What did I do wrong? Is there any like version 3? Okay, so what's wrong? Don't I have Tailwind? No, I think I don't have Tailwind 3 because this has been started last year. We're gonna check. Yes, of course it isn't. It doesn't have it. I don't know what Babel. Who uses Babel core? I think it's in someone's using it. I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like warnings. I just want to get them done. So is it still? Yeah, probably some of these modules here have it and don't need it. Anyway, so Tailwind CSS. I'm using the wrong version, so I'm gonna have to go to 229 over here. Just say we're gonna go for typography and hoping it's gonna keep the same thing. Yes, so we'll install this one. But what's the version? Because that's my problem. Like we were looking at the Tailwind CSS docs and what versions do we have available? Right. So let's switch back to 229 and we're going to type typography again. Update. Okay, so it says you'll want to upgrade to 030. Okay, so which one is it right now? Because I could just tell it to go to 0.3. So it can't install it. How do you get npm info? Tailwind CSS typography. I think that's the... So latest is 0.5. Next one, okay. But we can see, so it has 35 versions. Yeah, I'll just npm i-d. I'll get rid of shorthand because I can't do it. Tailwind CSS typography at 0.3. I think this should do the trick. And it did the trick. I don't know if there's a 0.4 thing. Can it do it? Let's see. We gotta try our luck. It's just a keystroke. So where is it? 0.4. Let's see if it works. So in Tailwind config, you save it here. This is an interesting extension, by the way. It's called import cost. You'll find it here. Import cost. And it's gonna give you basically the size of anything you import or require. So it's gonna help you like gauge how big some module is gonna be. So for example, Lodash is 70K, but if you want unique ID and you change the import to this thing and you like import only that function, see, like over here in this, it's 2K. Anyway, just an extension worth having installed. So we have everything, npm run dev, and let's see if it still works, because otherwise it's gonna error out. And it did not, I think. No, error. It did. It did error out. Why would that be? First of all, let's remove the Babel core thing, because it might have caused some shit. Okay. And if this doesn't do the trick, we're gonna have to... No, I think it's dying because of Tailwind. I think it's dying because of that. I know that Next is building a cache here, so if I .next and then run the dev again, I don't like, maybe there's something cached, something weird that's making it behave erratically. Otherwise, just downgrade to 3 to the 0. Yeah, see? So sometimes this .next file, which contains the cache, like your server compiled by Next.js and all of that, when you like play with versions and you mingle with modules, it might error out and it might not be what you thought of. So we would have downgraded to 0.3 and still had the same error. So just something worth keeping in mind. I think I should play some music after I get this done. So now that we have this over here, we are going to close DevTools and we're going to go and give it some pros classes. So let's just switch to v2 and again type typography and go to the plugin, and we have pros. Okay, and this is pros Excel for large screen. So let's just go with the default here. So just say pros. So this is on small screens, it applies the default pros classes. And then on larger screens, this is a breakpoint, you go pros Excel. So it applies some treatment to the fonts. It makes fonts a little bit bigger and stuff like that. But not like this. And I'll actually have to probably disallow the usage of headings because people are going to do this, and so it's going to overpower, this heading is going to overpower the heading that I put in over here. But I think we could just go with pros large. Is it a thing? Let's see. Maybe this will have to do. I guess it'll have to do. It's still like overpowering because it's using but why don't I go with font semi-bold? Well, it's gonna font semi-bold everything, but if we go normal, yeah, not much impact. I'll figure it out. We're good for now. We can move on. And we can move on to Signup. And of course it errors out because one of the things that I did, just make some commits over here to not lose anything very, very important. So we're going to say feature feat display HTML based on Markdown input. Server side, we use Markdown. Well, Strapi uses Markdown. That's it. Just a little bit of info here. I'm just gonna push to this website. It's asking me which repository to push. So now we're getting to the sign up. And one of the things that's particular about Signup is that it's parameterized. So you go sign up here, and then there's a subdirectory called type. This is actually a parameter that's going to land in here. So first we got to go to navigation, or I'm just going to go sign up and look for, well, here I should be searching for sign up. And it's in header, and it's going to, well, the index of this should be something like sign up as a candidate and sign up as a company. But for now, I'm just going to leave sign up for candidates, because for companies, I could do it manually. So here's the deal. One of the mistakes that I made while developing WeRemote.eu was that I developed a lot of features that I could have developed further in the process, and I could have focused that time and energy on acquiring companies. So the idea is this: the only scalable part of, well, user growth here is bringing in candidates, because they can just go self-register, create their profiles, and search for jobs. But for companies, because I won't have like thousands of companies registering, I can do it manually. So I can go talk to the company, get their business, and then go and literally go in Strapi in this admin over here and go and create jobs for them, like I did for my makeshift company here, and configure everything. This way, I also learn about the experience and about their needs, because I'm going to be in constant contact, editing stuff, doing stuff for them. It's basically what Paul Graham, and if you don't know Paul Graham, it's one of the guys at Y Combinator. So paulgraham.com, I think this is his website, and he has this thing which is called, well, in essays over here you'll find something called do things that don't scale. It's basically over here. It's in the first article. It's highlighted at the top, right? And one of the things, like this whole essay, the essence of it is that you should do things in a manual fashion and not concern yourself too much with scalability and with the way you're gonna grow to thousands and tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of users, or whatever your growth metrics are. Instead of focusing on that, do things manually. Go exit, get out of the office, go talk to people, be on calls, and do things in a concierge fashion, right? So what I want to do is, for companies, I'm going to do some sort of concierge service where I'm going to get their job descriptions. I'm going to help them improve their descriptions, maybe do a little bit of recruiting for them, like outreach to candidates. So I can do all of that right here. So this is why I decided that I'm not even going to do outside of the sign up, where you will be able to sign up as a company, because I don't know, maybe someone lands and wants to sign up, I'll just put a, hire remotely or something like that, and that'll take them to a sign up page. But I'm even thinking about making that into like, you want to hire remotely, just write me an email, right? And I'll just put a button over there or something, to a link to open their email client with my address over there. But so I decided to only do the sign up. I'm not even going to do, maybe post a job is going to be, again, like the same thing, a feature that I'll do later, because I'm going to talk to companies and post jobs for them. So this is going to be an afterthought, but I want to get the sign up and profile creation and details for candidates, because even though companies are the ones who will be bringing in the money, they will be the ones that are going to pay the platform to have their jobs here and to hire. Candidates are those who need to flock more or less to the platform in order to make it interesting and juicy for companies to publish their jobs on the platform. And then, of course, there is the trust building factor within the platform. So we'll have probably interviewing and verification process, and give candidates like verified badges if they've interviewed with us or a specialist. Maybe even have like candidates interview each other somehow by some random allocation. Who knows? There are many avenues to explore over there. But everything, all of those avenues need to be explored after the platform is more or less at least self-sustaining in terms of hosting costs and paying for itself and for its runtime, so to speak. So going back, we're going to hone the sign up process, and we're going to go do this exclusively for candidates. So sign up here as a candidate, sign in, that's going to be a different thing. Okay, so time to switch back, time to reload, click sign in, and some auto-completed old project stuff are in here. Anyway, I don't even care about them. I'm not even gonna bother. If this looks familiar to you, it's because it is. I've been so inspired by Hey, which is the email service that I've been using for the past year, and this is basically more or less a knockoff of their sign up. This is actually sign in. I think I clicked on the wrong link, but it's their sign in, sign up process. I already created the markup. I have it ready for a while now, but this needs to be wired to the backend. Now the thing with the backend is that if we go into the Strapi auth and we have a beginner's guide, whatever, we also need in the docs. So let's see if it's user authentication with Next.js and Strapi. I think this is a video. I think I watched it and I wasn't very Docker, Next.js. Too much fancy stuff just to show you this is how you make a request from the front end. So let's just go with authenticator requests, and we are not on V4. Again, V3 documentation. Always make sure you're looking at the right piece of documentation, because you might spend half an hour writing code, custom code, only to learn that, well, guess what? Actually, you were looking at the wrong docs. So we are good. Let's see. Development, developer resources, global Strapi API reference. I think we're interested in this, and I think we are interested in backend customization. And maybe let's just say here, authentication, roles and permissions. Okay, because I know this is going to give you some JWT thing. So let's just see, because basically you make a request. You make a request to auth strategy in this case, local user. So why don't we say registration, roles and permission. So we're going to the same thing. Plugin, GWT token. It checks if an authorization header is performed. This is how you manage them. So you do this, authentication. That's how you make authenticated requests. But registration, good. So you make an HTTP request auth local register with the username, email, and password. Why do they call it username? Let's just look at users, because I added myself. So is it user name or username? There's only one way to find out. We will be starting up Postman. Wait for it to load. And thank you for the release notes. I'll keep them in mind. So it's auth local. And I'm going to try to authenticate with this. So it's not username, it's username. What if I say Adrian Opria? It takes spaces. Damn. Okay, at least it doesn't do any lowercase, uppercase magic. Okay. So, but that's a little bit nasty because I could have two users. One would be this, and another one would be, you know, like this. Not nice. But yeah, maybe I'm missing something. Anyway, so is it kept somewhere? Nope. It doesn't cache. Okay. So it has to be a username. Now, can I do this? Like this? Can they be the same? Because I don't want to... The username... This is such a conflict here. Do I get the username? Do I not get it? Because then I also have like a handle on profile. So let me show you something. On content types builder, if we go into candidate, which is a profile, right? We have the verified full name, whatever, yada, yada, yada. And then we have handle. And handle is basically more or less like a username, but I don't want to use it like this. It's also used for like profile URLs and stuff like that. So we have a conflict here. Okay, I'm just gonna let it as it is. So it's a username just like that. Anyway, switching back. So I'm gonna have them be distinct. So this is gonna be a username and this is gonna be an email. And then we need to ask for them. So why don't I just duplicate this request, but instead of doing this, we're going to go to the documentation where it says auth local register, right? And what do we need to provide? Username, email, and password. And we're going to go to body, and we should be... Yeah, okay, I know you love your curly braces. So by the way, a neat trick in Postman is if you go at the end of a key, for example, and you press, in my case on a Mac, it's Control Space, like predictive text. It does the same thing. Most probably it's using for this editor. It's using like the Ace editor. I think this is what VS Code was using behind the scenes. So it gives you this nice wrap without you having to like do the curlies. You can also do it here, but of course, because there are two words, you can't do anything about it, but you can select. But again, it's only selecting the last word. So anyway, you can do that for keys. It works. I don't know if it, can it wrap? Oh, it can wrap. So if you select the whole text, it'll wrap it for you. And of course, you don't want this here because this is not JavaScript. This is JSON. Do you know what JSON stands for? Because a lot of people mix it up. It's called JavaScript Object Notation. So JS comes from JavaScript, ON from Object Notation. Do I get to beautify this? Can you please beautify my code and have it indented? I don't even care. So we're gonna user2, and then we should be user2.strapi.io, and then, well, let's leave it at test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, exclamation mark. So this is the request, and it's gonna give us what? The user, and it's gonna give us the JWT. And now we gotta persist that. Cool. So I'm guessing that this is authentication. We know it already, so I'm gonna have to wire this up behind the scenes with the sign-up process. Now you're gonna see there's an interesting thing here because I'm asking for the full name and the email address. So I have a problem here because regular Strapi users don't have full name. And let's go to content type builder. We're going to go to user. So I didn't want to add a full name over here, but I'm actually going to add one. And yeah, I think, do I need this here? I have it on the profile, but then this profile might be created by a person, but they might create a company profile. Decisions. The idea is that I'm going to ask for full name and address and then move on to the next section that's going to, okay, it wants it because it's required. So Adrian Oprea and user2 at strapi.io. Let's just go like that. And then it's gonna, shouldn't this, oh no, it's a form. So it's not gonna, I already created a form from this. So I think I just gotta do, after candidate info, it's gonna be password. And it's gonna ask for a password. And then it's gonna ask for a username. Okay, and then after that, right, after that, where is it gonna go? Let's look at the sign up process again. So it's gonna go to info, and it's gonna give me a password. So you're giving me your name, and you're setting a password directly, then you're choosing a username. And by this time, you would have already received the email with like asking you to confirm your account. So I need between these pages to keep state. And I found this neat little library. Let's move to Basecamp here. And I'm going to go to this ticket, which is called Jotai or something like that. So if we get this little thing here, and It's very, very, very clean. I don't know if it can do cross-page. Well, I don't care, because if routing happens client side over here, this should be like everything, all this process here should be happening client side actually. So it's gonna just save and navigate client side, and then, you know, pick password and username, and then submit and go to, I don't know, create your profile, or check your email and create your profile, something like that. Okay, I'm gonna install this little library here, and we're gonna play a little bit with this workflow. So this being said, we're going to go to candidate info. Let's look at the structure here. So this is a form, and on submit, instead of submitting to an endpoint, it should add to state. Yeah, I could have actually done this without these URLs. Let's see. I'm gonna play with it a little bit, and maybe this is worth not 1 but 2 episodes. So I'm gonna put these back on just to not get distracted by any background noise. And right, let's install Jotai. What does this do? React does not recognize password rules prop on a DOM element. Yeah, because that's something special. So npm i-s Jotai. Does it have any version? Let's see. npm install Jotai. Okay. Here goes nothing. So atoms are basically if I had to like pair it with the React hooks and use state, like use atom over here, this is shared, so it's something you create outside so that you can use in multiple components. Now, it's very simple, and it says that it's very simple. It's literally primitive and flexible state management for React. It's basically like you have multiple components in a file, you create an object outside, and from each component you start modifying things within the object, so that everyone else gets the updated version, right? It's not very, fancy, but I need something that does the trick and that works well. We're gonna see. I don't want to bring reduxes, and I think even my use of React context, which I do have within the app, like for the dialogues and all that, that's totally not necessary. So what do we need here? Well, I think what we need is import Jotai. Yeah, I think these are remnants. Like you see, link and use form are not used, but they will be in the near future. So import, what do I need? Atom. Use atom. And I think you need to create, I see that it has a concept where you pass 2 arguments. The first one is a getter or a reader, and you also have a writer. So writable derived atom. Yeah, I don't need that. Write only. This is something that I didn't like, is if you don't want this reader of this like derived atom, you're going to have to pass null, and I'm not a fan of null passing, and I actually suggested using function.length, which gives you the arity of the function. So basically, if you run function.length on this function, you're going to get 3, which is the arity of the function, the number of arguments. And you can detect, based on this pattern, that the getter, the reader, has 1 argument and the writer has 3, or at least more than 1. So if you get Atom with a function that has an arity of 1, you just say it's a reader. If you get Atom with a function that has an arity greater than 1, it's a writer. And if you get Atom with 2 functions, well, you have a reader and a writer. You can tell that. So, okay. Let me create... But this has to be shared, so I can't have these multiple files and not share that. So I'm gonna need some sort of a provider. So yeah, this is gonna be provided by. Yeah, it might not work in the current setup. What do I need to do? Let's see. So it has a search, so let's look at provider core concepts extra re-renders. Nope. Persistence. So Atom with storage function. Damn. This is exactly what I need, right? Atom with storage. So it's not persistence, I think it's persistence. I had a coworker who would used to write like persistence everywhere, and he killed me with that. So we actually need session storage. I think this is the one I need. So Atom with storage, that's the one I need. And where do I create this? So I get to use Atom with storage from Jotai utils, and we go Atom with storage, dark mode, false. But where's the Atom thingy? Oh, so it's Jesus. So it's not Atom, it's Atom with storage all of a sudden. So we need use Atom from Jotai, and then import Atom with storage from Jotai utils. We're getting the semicolons, we're getting everything. So now we have to create it outside over here. So const account storage Atom is Atom with storage, and we call it details, and it's an empty object. Let's just do this. It's my first time actually writing this stuff. So we go const details, and then set details, use Atom, account storage. Yeah, this definitely needs to be shared. I can't do this here and then expect it to be or maybe it knows if it knows to like read it if it's set. So it creates it with a value persisted in session storage. And how can I say? So it's the key, it's the initial value. Okay, and then storage. So how do you pass storage? Okay, so do I just say session storage? Server-side rendering, okay, it knows this. Any JSX markup that depends on the value. Okay, we'll use the initial value on render. They're not available. Okay, no problem. So what we need is add them with storage, and then we say session storage. So I don't want to keep this if users don't have the... Does it need like a primitive? Key initial value storage. Isn't it weird? So it takes a key, it takes an initial value, which is a string. A what? Give me a second. What are we doing here? So it says the key is dark mode, the value is false. Okay. This is not a string. And 3 overloads, and those 3 overloads are the things that are killing us, of course. So let's see. It's not a string, it's not a string, it's not a string. This is dumb. I'm doing something stupid. What if I say false? Same thing. Isn't this weird? This is very weird, because if I just delete the... I'm just gonna delete this and just do it like this and see what gives. So I don't think we need this. So we're gonna do it like this. This is go speak. Just make sure, like, this is actually a variable. Like, this is a variable. This is not discarding it in any way. It's still retrieving it. But I want to do, where is React hook form? Because on submit, I want to save the details in storage and move on to the next URL. So register handle submit. Okay, so register your input into the hook. This is one of the things I dislike about the React world. It goes so far in the fucking woods, in the weeds, with the way it works and the way you should code stuff. But let's see. So what do we need here? So use form, and then I believe I need to use form to destructure everything, and then on submit do the magic. So I'm gonna go here and say, what do I need? Register, because I'm registering input fields, right? 2 inputs over here, and then handle submit. Actually, let's go use form just to get some prediction here. And watch, why do I need watch for? Where am I watching for something? Watch input value. I'm not interested into that right now. And then it's getting errors from, like, form state errors. Well, this I believe has something to do with some validators. I'm not interested in this as well, like, either. It's going to be like this for now. And we are going to say on submit, this is basically set detail. So on submit, is a function that's going to take data and it's going to say, well, what's it going to say? We should be switching back to this. So we have this form here and you do set text. Yes, but I don't do set text over here. I set the object and I want to set stuff within it. So I need to update. So if I need to update, we have this thing here where you set it to whatever you like, you get the value. Yeah, what I want to do here is basically be able to spread over this default value and set into it. For now, actually, I think I could just reassign it and go with set details as data. I think that's good for now. And I could actually like drop it all together and just say set details on handle submit. Let's just go back to the API. So we have a form, we have to say on submit, it's equal to handle submit of set details. I expect set details to be a function which takes data. Yeah, okay. So npm run dev and fingers crossed. I think I'm gonna stop after I set this part up, and I'll do another video with the rest of the process because the video is over an hour. So what's your full name? Okay, user2 at strapi.io, and let's see, nothing in the console, nothing in session storage, local storage, details is empty, and okay, I might have done something here. So on submit, input type submit, no, it should be button type submit. Well, yeah, but did I register? Because it's like over here, clearly registered. What is example required? I don't know. I'm just gonna say register. Look, I should be sleeping. And we are going to say full name, I guess. And then I probably won't need these. Yeah, whatever. I probably won't need all these hacks here. Yeah, so register full name, and then we'll make that into like, oh, so validation is right here. I never used React hook forms thing. I always used Formic. This is my first time doing this, but I'll probably be looking for some joy schema passing of some sort because I don't like doing this. And we're going to do the same for email. Required true. I don't think I can say like email something something, but let's see what's going on here. So it still says login. I'm so login. Sign up for an account. Let's see. So now click submit. Local storage, Boom. It's right here. But it's set as a goddamn string. Jesus, because it's in local storage. But if I do something like, what should I do? So I'm just going to go and say details, and instead of passing set details here, I'm going to pass a on submit, and we'll create it right here and say const on submit equals a function that gets data, and it's going to do set details of said data, and then console.log details. I'm hoping, I don't know if it does like a refresh, or if it needs like a, what's the cycle, like how are the lifecycle hooks triggered with this, because I remember seeing that it prevents some re-renders and stuff like that, Jotai. But anyway, let's just go do this. Perfect. Success. It's been successful. Now what's interesting is that once we do this, I want to do a client side. These are all static pages, but they are exclusively client side. They don't need SSR, they don't need anything. So once we go away from this page, and I'm gonna undo right now and like revert to just passing set details over here, and replacing this with an underscore. The next part would be password, right? So I'm gonna need to go to routing, and I think it's, let's find router. I need next router, and you get use router, and what's the, is it push? I only need client side stuff, so handles client side transitions in case next link is not enough. It ain't. So we get push, then I think there's also replace. We don't need that. No prefetch, none of that. Some hooks here. Back button, reload, no need for that. I think router push is what I should be looking for. So let's just go and import from next router. We're gonna get use router, and then we should be going right here and say add a router variable, and then I undid this, but I have to redo the undo and say on submit, because right now what we're gonna create is a function that's gonna set the data, and then just go router.push, and I think it takes a URL and then as whatever you want to pass it, and then the options, which is shallow without rerun, false. Okay, yeah, no need. Let's see. So we're going to go to I only need the last part to change. So should I say, I'm going to hard code it for now. So it's sign up candidate password. Just gonna try to do this. Let's see if it works. So I'm right here. I'm going Adrian Oprah user 2 ready. Now go next. Okay. I don't care what you recognize. Show me local storage. I have my details here. And so now on this page, I will probably have to do the same thing, right? So this is repeated code. I don't like it. I don't necessarily like it. I think I should be including all of these, well, what I call pages or URLs as, this is basically a stepped form, right? So they could easily be included onto the same page. So where info here, just say, you know, sign up and then go form or info, and have within this plain layout include 3 components that are going to be hidden or shown based on what has been submitted and based on the step of the form. But I won't waste your time with this. I'm already past the 1 hour mark. It's 1 hour and 10 minutes. What I'm gonna do is I will experiment on my own with this, like duplicating the code in the password page as well, and see how this goes. And then once that yields, once I realize that, okay, I can use the state over here, I can use it in this component, I will probably record a video and refactor this whole process into, and like this, the code over here in this sign up process, into a set of components that are going to be shown in based on the step of the form. So this is just this is a stepper. It's a stepper, and it displays forms or inputs, and at the end of it, it submits everything as one form. So it collects the data and submits everything as one form. So for now, what I'm interested in is collecting name, email, password, and then username, and I create their account, and then after they confirm it, or I don't know, while the email is sent, they can continue to create their profile. But that's for a different video, so I'll be turning off this one, and I'll catch you in the next one. So bye for now, and just wait for the next video to pop up. Thanks.